my social media or anything like that, you would know that I've just got back from Thailand. It was an absolutely incredible experience. We backpacked from Phuket up to Chiang Mai and Laos and back down to Bangkok over the period of a month, and it was just awesome. Definitely recommend it to anybody. But there was one thing that really stuck out to me throughout the trip, and that was the use of animals over there. And I really wanted to do a video on it to kind of raise some awareness maybe, but also just speak to you guys, because I know a lot of you are animal lovers and don't want to be contributing to these sorts of industries. So I wanted to talk about some alternatives that you can do while you're over there. So the biggest thing that I came across while I was there was the use of elephants, and that was really hard for me because I'd never been to a country before that had elephants. So I just wanted to interact with the elephants whatever chance I got, and they were everywhere to interact with, but I knew that these were negative industries that they were using them in, and if I interacted with the elephants I would just be contributing to the continuation of these industries. The first time I saw an elephant on the trip was this gorgeous little baby elephant when we were motorbiking up some mountain in Phuket, and it was just so precious. It must have only been about a year old, but it was chained to the side of the road. It could only move about a metre each way, and it was just really upsetting to see. Like, I didn't want to go over there and go near it because there were people taking all sorts of photos with it. Kids and things were just streaming in and taking photos with it, and then going into the park, and I could just tell that it was so unhappy to be there. Obviously wanted to be with its mother or be somewhere else. So it was really heartbreaking to see, and that was the morning when we were going up, and in the afternoon when we came back it was still there. So that was really, really upsetting. And the children and things, they obviously are unaware, like they don't know. The parents need to be more aware that obviously by taking photos, by paying money, or by going into the park, you're just contributing to that elephant being stuck there every day, day in and day out, for an indefinite period of time. So yeah, that was really, really upsetting, but that was just the start of it. There were elephants everywhere being used for trekking and all sorts of different things, and the elephant trekking is really kind of sucks because you think it's okay, they make it seem like it's okay, but it's not okay, because firstly elephants shouldn't be carrying people, but secondly the elephants have had their spirits broken to start with, and then they've been used for years of labour most of the time before they get sent off to trekking companies when they're old and retired from labour. And at that point they're too old to really be carrying the weight of multiple people on their backs for long distances. It's really horrible. But the lucky thing is, it's so good to see that there's so much change going on now, and there are so many people that are stepping out and moving away from that and starting conservation parks or rescue centres. A woman 20 years ago called Lek started the Elephant Nature Park in northern Thailand, that's up by Chiang Mai, and we went there and it was just the most incredible experience. So this is a great alternative for you guys if you do want to interact with elephants, and they have these sorts of things all over Eastern Asian countries now, which is really, really great. And so the Elephant Nature Park has got so many elephants all together in family groups that have kind of created. Whenever an elephant is rescued from all these different sorts of industries, they come in and they're accepted in different family groups, and it's just so beautiful to see them all interacting naturally and getting a happy life where they get to wander around the hills, roll in the mud, walk in the water, all sorts of lush organic fruit all the time. It's really, really great to see. So I'll link that in the description box below. The next thing that was really, really big and prolific and really upsetting was the use of little monkeys and things like aye-ayes and gibbons, and they're often dressed up in costumes, and guys would kind of thrust them into your arms and get you to take photos with them, and if you got a photo you would pay something, and I just wanted to pick up the little aye-aye that I saw and run off with him and take him to a rescue centre or something. But obviously I knew that that wasn't going to be a good idea, because if I did that, or even if I bought it off him, he would just go out into the wild and poach another one. So it's a never-ending industry unless you stop funding it, basically. So people just need to stop showing interest in it and stop giving their money towards it, and then it will stop, and that would be really great. But there are also lots of gibbon rescue centres over there as well, so I'll link some of those below, because that's really awesome. And you can even go up into the treetops and see gibbons in their natural habitat. That is a lot more expensive, but definitely worth it. And another one that was really big is zoos. And zoos obviously are all over the world, but when you go to developing countries, often the zoo conditions are a lot poorer, and the animals are very much kept on display rather than for the purposes of having a more natural habitat. and so they're kind of anxious and stressed and don't have very long lives, don't have very happy lives, and it's really hard to see. We actually went to an aquarium on the trip, which looking back I don't really know what I was thinking, because I don't really go to kind of captive things of anything anymore, but we went because there's plenty of really nice aquariums in New Zealand that involve like breeding programs, and they have really big natural habitats, and it's a lot easier to keep fish in more natural conditions, but it wasn't like that at all. The tanks were small and the fish just didn't have anything to do. They kind of just swam backwards and forwards. It was really horrible to see, and so I'm really wishing that I didn't go to that, because it feels really stink knowing that I've contributed to that, but at least I can share that with you guys and warn you off going, because it's not enjoyable seeing things bought and displayed in these little containers. It's not enjoyable at all. It's much more enjoyable to see things out in the wild in their natural habitat enjoying their lives. And the last thing that was really big was stray animals everywhere. Stray cats and dogs all over the streets if you're in any town areas. Even when you're out in rural areas, there were so many stray animals. And the problem with that obviously is rooted in the fact that they don't really get their animals fixed. And so there's a lot of animals having lots of litters of cats or dogs, and there's just more and more stray animals everywhere. When we were in Yonoi, this really gorgeous island off of Phuket, we came across these 2 stray puppies that I fell in love with, and I wanted to take them with me. But during the period that we were there, actually, some tourists kind of kidnapped them. I'm not really sure what they did. We saw them taking them away, and we thought they were just playing with them, and then they never returned. So hopefully they've adopted them and taken them back to their homes or whatever, but I don't know, I'm a bit skeptical. But they were really gorgeous puppies, and kind of got me thinking about next time on the trip I want to take a bunch of things with me that I can help these stray animals. So I think I'll take a bunch of flea tablets and treats that I can put the flea tablets and worming tablets and things into, and give them out to all these stray dogs everywhere. Also, something that you can really do is you can ring up Soy Dog, which is a really great foundation in Thailand that rescues stray dogs and cats and spays them, neuters them, fixes all their wounds and problems, and then puts them on social media and adopts them out to people all over the world. It's just such a great organisation, and I'll link that below as well, because we went there and we loved it, and I will definitely be going back and volunteering because it was just so inspiring. But yeah, so you can ring up Soy Dog and you can tell them that there is a wounded animal or suffering animals or abused animals or whatever, or even you can drive up to Soy Dog with some of them and drop them off there, and they will receive care. So that is really awesome, and I wanted to do that with these puppies actually, because they had quite a lot of mange and they were clearly infested with quite a few different things. That didn't stop me from interacting with them though, but I really wanted to take them, but obviously people got to them first. But it also brings you back home and reminds you that it's really important to get your own pets fixed and not let them kind of reproduce 100 times, because so many animals out there now, people just need to be adopting, no more breeding, because there's just too many animals that are left abandoned and really need loving homes. So I'll link Soy Dog below because they're just amazing people. Make sure you check that out. I will link the Elephant Nature Park, and I will link some other organisations as well. And if you guys plan a trip to Thailand, please check those places out, because it will be one of the best experiences of your life. Seeing animals that have gone from suffering and like horrible lives to coming into this positive light and living out the rest of their lives in a positive, awesome way. It's just so great to see. And it's also really uplifting to see humans doing positive things for animals in the world. It's really good to see. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you do care about animals like I do, or you just want to make sure that you have kind of an ethical experience when you go traveling. And if you have any comments about this topic, I would love to hear about them, because it's something that I'm really passionate about. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.